Hi guys, and welcome to a bit of a different video than the ones I normally do. This is going to be a series in which I take a look at some of the ways I see people sabotage themselves on old school RuneScape. New players and long-term players alike often get themselves mired in really bad ways of thinking about the game, and that leads to things like tilting, loss of potential experience, and complaining on Reddit in the hopes that Mod Matt K will reply to on one of his PR trolls. Old School RuneScape is one of the slowest games ever created. For most players it takes several hundred hours of gameplay to access all the content in the game, and even then a lot of players will see you as a noob. That means that a little bit of your time now watching these videos could save you hundreds of hours in the long term if you can apply some of the things I'll be talking about to your own game. I'm not talking about tick manipulation or prayer flicking or anything that requires any level of technical skill. I'm just talking about a few basic ideas that could change the way you approach the game here, either to make you more efficient or just to help you enjoy the grind more. So first off, quite a bit of this first section won't apply in quite the same way to Iron Man accounts, although a lot of the basic principles will. As we all know, Old School RuneScape is a very grindy game. We spend hours, days, even months doing the same things over and over, catching fish, mining, or killing monsters. And because the gameplay, for the most part, is quite simple, most of us work with short and long-term goals. Without really thinking about it, we prioritise those goals according to how close we are to each one and how important each one is to us. For example, a mid-level player might say, "In the short term, I want to get 70 attack and 1.8 million GP so I can use an Abyssal Whip, and in the long term I want 126 combat and 99 Slayer so girls will finally notice me." And here, one of those goals is clearly a stepping stone to the next. Getting that whip will help with the more ambitious combat and Slayer goals. But things aren't usually that simple. Most players juggle dozens of goals, skill levels, diaries, gear, and those goals tend to overlap and conflict with each other. If I want a whip, but I also want 50 construction, one of those two goals is going to have to wait while I work on the other because both of them inevitably cost money. If I bite the bullet and buy a ton of planks to finally get that portal room, I'm suddenly a lot further from that sweet-ass demon spine. The same thing happens if I really want both 70 mining and 70 fishing. They're both fairly slow skills, but they don't really cost anything to level, meaning I have to prioritise one over the other to dump my time into. And this is where opportunity cost comes in. Opportunity cost, simply put, is the idea that time is money. Time is a valuable resource both in real life and in old school RuneScape, and in both cases, most people trade some of their time directly for money. So, a supermarket cashier might sell an hour of their time to their employer and receive £7.50, or your equivalent in Monopoly money, in return. They might then go home, log on to old school RuneScape and trade away an hour of their time for 600k by spending that time runecrafting for money. Then, like the rest of us, they go to bed and think seriously about their life choices. Many players, and I used to be guilty of this too, tend to try to reconcile conflicting objectives by spending as little money as possible on things like skill goals, so the only resource they have to manage is time. How many times have you heard the following sentence, or one like it, from a friend, a stranger in game, maybe on Reddit or the forums? How many times have you perhaps said something like this yourself? "I want 99 cooking, but I don't want to spend any money on it, so I'll just catch all the fish myself and get 99 fishing and cooking for free." I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that you've heard this sentiment too many times to count, especially if you've ever been in a social or a filthy casual clan like most of us back in the golden age of RuneScape 2. And on the surface it seems like sound logic, right? And well, on occasion it can be, but it always bears looking at a little bit more closely. A skill goal like 99 fishing and cooking is a huge time investment, and it's always a good idea to work out the most efficient way of doing things for you. Bear in mind that the numbers I'll be using here are likely to be outdated to some extent, especially by the time you watch this, but they're fine for example purposes. So let's say we're actually on a pretty high level account, and we can make 500k every hour by runecrafting. This is not unrealistic, in fact it's probably a little bit on the modest side. We have enough money in our bank account to buy enough monkfish to get 99 cooking in, say, 50 hours with 85,000 monkfish. Unfortunately, not only are cooked monkfish a little bit less valuable than raw ones, but we're inevitably going to burn some as well, and all in all we work out that getting 99 cooking will cost us roughly 2 million GP. So we decide we're going to catch our own fish and cook them. It seems like a great idea. Rather than sinking 2 mil into the endeavour, we'll actually make a lot of money by selling the cooked fish at the end, and we'll get 2 level 99 skills into the bargain. So we cast out our net in Piscatoris, and eventually we catch 100,000 monkfish. That makes sure we get 99 fishing, and compensates for the ones we'll inevitably burn. We catch somewhere between 200 and 250 every hour, depending on how interesting YouTube is, and it ends up taking 450 hours just to catch all the fish. We spend another 50 hours cooking them, and when all is said and done, we've spent 500 hours on getting 99 fishing and cooking, and we also have 85,000 cooked monkfish to sell for 300 GP each, which is 25.5 million coins in profit. Remember that the numbers themselves aren't particularly important, it's just the general idea we're trying to get at here. So we've sunk 500 hours into getting 99 fishing and cooking, and we've ended up over 25 mil in profit. Except 25.5 million coins isn't actually that much for us, is it? Remember, we can make 500k per hour just runecrafting. And that's without taking into account runecrafting experience we would get by doing that. And here's where we start second guessing ourselves. That adds up to a lot of money we could have made in those 500 hours we just spent. And perhaps that prompts us to look at how we could have spent the time instead. Was there a better way of achieving the same results? Well, let's look at it logically. First off, let's buy enough monkfish to get 99 cooking. That puts us 27.5 million coins down from where we ended up last time. 2 million coins lost between raw and cooked monkfish, and 25.5 million from the fishing. That 27.5 million coins, however, saves us 450 hours of labour. It saves us 450 hours of fishing, which isn't a bad deal so far. But of course we also got 99 fishing in our first scenario, arguably the much more important and impressive part. It took us 450 hours to get 99 fishing, but we didn't do it in the most efficient way possible. If we'd fly fished or barbarian fished, we could have got to 99 in only 250 hours. Once we buy the monkfish to get 99 cooking and use a power leveling method of getting 99 fishing, we end up with the same skill levels as before, but 200 hours earlier. The only difference is that we're 27.5 million coins worse off. We lost that money buying all the monkfish instead of fishing them. But now we have an extra 200 hours to play with, and we can use that time doing whatever the most efficient way to earn money on our account is. For the account we're talking about, we spend that time runecrafting, and 200 hours of runecrafting at 500k profit per hour. That's 100 mil, almost 4 times the amount of money we previously lost. As we can see here, being more efficient in real terms has saved us a lot of money. It saved us 100 mil over the 27.5 mil we lost. But that's just because we're a skilled runecrafter, right? Well, to an extent, but not quite. Let's say we can only make 200k per hour under normal conditions. That would still mean that 200 hours is worth 40 million coins to us, far in excess of the 27.5 mil break-even point. So in the first scenario we were self-sufficient and we fished and cooked our own food with minimal hassle. In the second scenario, we decided that we were going to try and be more efficient, and we were going to trade effectively and use our skills to make the most money per hour possible. In both scenarios we spent the same 500 hours on improving our account, but in the second scenario we ended up objectively and vastly better off. Now, it's not always quite this simple. There are other ways of achieving the same results to consider. What if we just fly fished and then cooked the salmon and trout for cooking experience? Turns out that would be bad, but sometimes there are more than 2 factors to think about, and you also have to take into account what you enjoy about the game. Some players really love the idea of self-sufficiency, fishing your own food, mining ore to make your own cannonballs or whatever, and that's the whole appeal really of the Iron Man account. And there is value in that too, and not just in the form of numbers you can plug into a formula, but it's important to have an idea of how much time and money you're really investing into that idea. It really does just boil down to this question, which you should be asking yourself pretty much constantly while playing. Is what I'm doing worth the time I'm investing into it? It sounds so simple, but here in 2017 I still see so many people falling into the false efficiency trap simply by not valuing their time properly. I hope this video helped some of you avoid it. Thanks for watching episode 1, and I'll see you next time when we'll be talking about dry streaks and overcoming the tilt factor.